he takes off his clothes, gets into bed, orders food, and then is trying to get me to get into bed with him.
Why don't you leave? He took his clothes off.
Right. Bed with him.
Leave.
I eventually get into bed with him.
This is outrageous. Right to jail, right away.
Now we got here. He took off his clothes. Why didn't you leave then?
Right.
No, he took off his clothes. Why didn't you? And you ordered food. Why didn't you leave then?
Right. This is not what you wanted. This is not what you wanted to
Right?
be here for.
I thought you wanted to go out.
Right.
So if you're saying it's bullshit now, then it was bullshit then when you heard it.
And again, you're not held captive.
Right.
You were free to go.
And there are other people in this room. There are 2 other people here.
Yeah, that's what didn't make sense.
Her friend is here, and the translator is here. Alex Pereira doesn't speak English. So you eventually got into bed. Why'd you get into bed? I thought you didn't want to take the picture. I thought you didn't want to be there. Why didn't you leave instead of getting into the bed? When he took his clothes off, why didn't you leave?
So that picture that I posted where everyone is saying that it looks like I'm a fan that asked him to take a picture with me, I did not ask for that picture. I asked for no pictures. I didn't know who this man was. My friend asked for pictures with him after asking me to record her sparring with him, and then he asked on everyone that I know and love's life, he asked for pictures with me.
I'm just going to keep it a stack for you. You're lying. And whoever your friend is, they're not more famous than UFC champ Alex Pereira. So when you say you're in there, your friend's sparring with him or whatever, you have no idea who he is, I know that's a lie. Because they had to be saying his name every 2 minutes.
I did not ask for those pictures.
And he definitely didn't ask you, a random thought, for a picture. Why?
Celebrities don't go around asking
people to take pictures.
Right.
The fuck?
The fans are the ones asking for the pictures.
Right.
Like, right. I don't never heard of
imagine,
shit like that.
Right, imagine a bitch say, hey, Chris Brown ran up to me and wanted a picture with me. Excuse me? You know he did not. He wanted to go and mind his business and you stopped him.
Right.
Cut it out.
Every time someone says, on everyone I know's life, I swear, they're more than likely lying.
Yeah.
Or they say, trust me. Yeah, like some bullshit like that.
Trust me. No.
Just say no.
To ask my friend.
If he was asking for the picture, she could just say no.
She asked his assistant to ask my friend to have me send the pictures to her, and then she sends it to my assistant because he wanted the pictures. Because it was probably a trophy for him.
Yo, no way, bro. No way, son. See, this, I'm telling you, the type of shit that some of these people say, they don't realize that in the context that they're saying it, it doesn't make sense. It's like if you're talking about a normal, non-famous person that you're making up this fucking story about, that makes a little bit more sense. But when you're talking about a celebrity, that shit just doesn't compute. It doesn't. He's taking trophies of you, random, degenerate, useless thought. Bro, he's probably fucked 100 girls that look just like you. Why would he need a trophy for just you? You're not that special.
Let me explain something
Jesus.
to y'all women.
What?
Y'all have freedom, okay? So if there is something that somebody asks of you and you do not want to do it, all you have to do is simply say no.
Yeah.
After that, if they use force against your will,
Threaten
after you say no and you actually try to unarm yourself from their hands or whatever the case may be, then that is a issue.
Right.
An assault.
Right. And the one thing a lot of women do in their head is that, and what they don't realize, or maybe they do realize,
or voice it.
That's the problem, is that you can't revoke consent in your head.
Right.
Do you understand that? You can't say you allow something to happen because you can give consent by both verbally or by action or by inaction. Mm-hmm. If I put my hand on you and you look at me, watch me do it, and don't tell me to take it off, that is tacit consent. Do you understand that? That's not, oh, he's doing bad. No. You're an adult. You can see him. Tell him to get off if you don't want that.
Right.
If you allow him to keep touching you, it's presumed that you want that.
Right. And there are okay, I understand timid women, but understand something. Even some people can't even read body language or body signs. Some people cannot read that action unless it's verbally said.
You need to say no.
So, thank you.
You need to say no, or you need to take physical action that indicates no.
No, right.
AKA pushing people off, moving away from them, taking whatever mitt they put on you and taking it off. Fucking hit them if you got to.
Because there is a difference between being a timid woman and shy.
Right.
Somebody who's shy can be with the shits, but they look so timid.
Right.
So a guy can't read that. A guy cannot, guess what? It's not said. It's literally not said, so how is he supposed to know?
Right.
It's confusing to understand.
Right. So what's about to happen now? You're about to say that he did this to you, and you're gonna say that you let it happen the whole time, and in your head you were saying no, you didn't want it, but you didn't tell him at all ever. You didn't leave, you didn't say no, nothing.
Bitch, get out the court.
And then now later you're gonna say he did something to you. Are you fucking insane?
Get out the court.
What are y'all talking about? Like, these motherfuckers do something and revoke consent 2 weeks later, and be like, he did something to me.
It doesn't work that way.
What
I'm
the
sorry.
fuck?
I'm sorry.
Is it crack they hand out
Or later,
at the OnlyFans place?
or later ashamed that they did it in the first place.
Right, and then
Guess
change their
what?
mind. Oh, I didn't want it. And it's like,
It doesn't work that way.
right. It's like the girl that tried to accuse academics.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She had a train ran on her at his house.
Yeah.
It was on video. And the whole time she's saying, I didn't want it, I don't remember, blah, 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 only for the video to show that you was into it every which way.
Because you was conscious.
And taking actions by yourself. They didn't do something to you, you were participating. Mm-hmm. So why now later, just because you don't remember something, doesn't mean you didn't consent.
Right.
Y'all need to understand that. Jesus Christmas.
I did not ask for those pictures.
No one cares. It's a picture.
That's besides the point.
Should have said no.
Basically, his assistant sends us an Uber to where we are after the UFC fight and brings us back to the Courtyard Marriott, where we were supposed to be waiting for Alex to get back from an interview, I think he said.
How we
Yo.
spending time with him and he said in the Uber all of a sudden.
This is what I'm talking about. It's like, she's acting like he did something so terrible to her when the whole day they're basically following the dude around like fucking groupies.
Right, and if you didn't want to do this, all you had to
home.
do is thank you.
Go home. Instead, you're following this guy around all day. You and your friends waiting around for him at the hotel. Let me tell you something, bitch. Despite how you tell this story, the rest of us who are fucking grown adults,
No, it doesn't make sense.
We know what you're doing, what you were there for. You're a thought. You were out doing thought things. Mm-hmm. You were waiting around for a celebrity to go to his hotel room. That's what groupie thoughts do. That's been the same way since the 1960s. Bruh, it's the same thing. That's what you did. So how do you want to have us believe that you were stalking this man basically the whole fucking day, waiting around for him, only for when it got down to the business, then you let it happen and didn't say no, and then now he did something to you. Y'all have to make that make sense to me. Let me tell you something. I would take you apart in court. There's no way. This story's already dog shit. Holy fuck.
And then we were gonna go out, talking about going to the clubs and like having a fun night while we were all in New Jersey, New York for the weekend.
We were talking about having
For
fun.
like 2 hours for Alex to come while his friend is on the phone talking about like kids with cancer and big money transfers and things that had to do with Alex. And we were like, hey, it's getting kind of late. Like, is Alex coming? Like, what's the plan? Should
Why
we
y'all
just
asking?
go back home because we're kind of tired? Like, if we're gonna have plans, can we like get on with it because it's already getting very late.
Looking forward to the
At
plans.
this point,
Let's
I
see.
think it was like
Still waiting.
2 or 3 in the morning.
You didn't even want to be there. You didn't know this man.
Eventually, Alex comes.
Wait a minute.
2 in the morning?
She said 2 or 3 in the morning. No way, brother. No way, brother.
You did not know this man. You didn't want to know this man. You didn't even want to take pictures, but you chilling out with this man in his place at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talking about, I didn't want to be here, but you steady there till the next day, huh?
That shit make sense to me. So you didn't want anything to do with him from since earlier when you didn't want to take the picture that he forced on you apparently. And now it's gotten to 3 in the morning and you're waiting around at this man's hotel for him to return. We have plans, we gotta get on with the plans. Bitch, I'm from New York. New York, New Jersey, we all do the same shit, hang out in the same place. Jersey City, the city, all that. 3 a.m., you're not going anywhere but to Pound Town. Cut it out.
Everybody in the world knows what time that is, what type of time you're on.
What the fuck is open at 3 a.m., bro?
Why are you partying with this man if you don't know him? If you don't care to know him?
Bro,
Because you do know him. You do know he has money.
and you was trying to fuck, and that's what you was waiting for. You was waiting to fuck and then to get your hand out. That's what you was waiting for.
Do they really think that these niggas is boo-boo the fool?
I can't believe it, bro. Just saying this is ridiculous. Like, the way you're telling the story, I know you're lying. She's telling that bullshit all, like, before the story to try and set it up that I never wanted to do anything with him.
Right.
I was never interested in him.
Right.
And that he just did this out of nowhere and I never gave him any inclination that this was okay. That's what she's trying
Right.
to spin.
Because none of this part is so irrelevant.
Exactly.
It's so irrelevant.
The lead up to it is irrelevant.
What? Why do we need to know that? What happened?
Right, were any of this...
Why we need to know that he was at a charity event?
That they were taking a picture. Why would you know any of that shit?
Him, like trying to ask him what's going on.
You should start the story when you're in the room together, because that's when the choices and the decisions are being made.
Right, because you're not held captive.
Right. So it's not like he captured you earlier in the day and you was in a dungeon. He chained you like a slave.
Until he came back.
Like a vampire that needs to be punished. Like,
Like
are you
what?
joking? Stop
Make it
playing.
make sense. Make it make sense.
And you find yourself there at 3 a.m. This is diabolical.
Hotel room after the party that he was at, and he says that he doesn't want to go out. He wants to enjoy the time that he has with the people he's with. Some bullshit like that. And then he takes off his clothes, gets into bed, orders food, and then is trying to get me to get into bed with him.
You gotta take this one step at a time, because if I was in court and I cross-examine you, this is what would happen. I would take this step by step by step. Okay. Now we got here. He took off his clothes. Why didn't you leave then?
Right.
No, he took off his clothes. Why didn't you? And you ordered food. Why didn't you leave then?
Right. This is not what you wanted. This is not what you wanted to
Right?
be here for.
I thought you wanted to go out.
Right.
So if you're saying it's bullshit now, then it was bullshit then when you heard it.
And again, you're not held captive.
Right.
You were free to go.
And there are other people in this room. There are 2 other people here.
Yeah, that's what didn't make sense.
Her
to me.
friend is here, and the translator is here. Alex Pereira doesn't speak English. So he's translating everything he's saying. So you have to explain to me how, with 3 other people in the room, 2 other people in the room, that somehow you couldn't leave. Like, while it's true that all the people in the room together tried to beat up Alex, that wouldn't work. But that doesn't, he would beat all up like fucking lemmings.
Yeah.
But I know he didn't do that. And I know he didn't threaten to do that either. So, make it make sense. Because let me tell you something. If Alex Pereira held, this nigga beat Izzy twice. If he held you prisoner in your fucking room, all y'all have been in the emergency room. Are you kidding?
Out. Y'all not getting out.
What? You'd have lumps everywhere. This is what? You be holding your side and that. Like, stop. Stop it. You're lying.
My friend and me and the translator are all sitting on the couch, and he's just sitting in bed staring at me and telling his translator to tell me things.
Why don't you leave?
And
He took his
trying
clothes
to get me
off.
Right.
into bed with him.
Leave.
I eventually get into bed with him.
I eventually get into bed with him by choice.
Right.
By choice.
And again, when we get on the stand, so you eventually got into bed with him, because I'll play this video back and stop it place by place and ask her what the fuck was she was talking about. So
How women are this dumb. It's really amazing.
this dumb and this fucking devious and malicious. She's lying. So you eventually got into bed. Why'd you get into bed? I thought you didn't want to take the picture. I thought you didn't want to be there. Why didn't you leave instead of getting into the bed? When he took his clothes off, why didn't you leave? Like, you were? Don't tell me you were afraid. There are 2 other people there. His translator and your friend are gonna let him capture you while he's there? The fuck?
If they know that you don't want to do this.
Who is he? Fucking Rambo? Blade? What are we talking about here? They gotta flee the room because they can't deal with him? Like, the fuck?
Yes, I didn't think that anything was going to happen. My friend was there with me. I had told her not to leave me at any point. She had told me not to leave her with the assistant at any point. No. So now the assistant is a criminal too now, apparently. I'm telling you, these are the women that be on whatever podcast talking about, I think 90% of men in the world would victimize me. That's what we're dealing with here.
No, because
mental illness.
A lot of these women have the mentality that they can get one up and get life from tarnishing a man who got money.
But I'm just not understanding. Like, this is all fabricated. You're saying, I told her not to leave me alone with him at any point. Then why didn't you guys just leave? If you are in a room with a person with 3 other people, and one of those people is someone you fear to be left alone with. Why did you not leave? Why, when everybody was still in the room, like, I'm out of here, and leave? What was that? You don't want to be left alone with the assistant. What the fuck did the assistant do? He's an assistant.
She.
The
assistant's a she.
Was it a she?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a he.
Oh.
The translator, assistant, whatever. But it doesn't matter. What? So you don't want to be left alone with this other person? Why are you scared of him? What did he do to you? Like, you're not entitled to just presume that every man you meet is about to do something to you. That's not rational, not in any way.
I thought that we were going to be fine. I thought I was going to be able to maybe try and get myself comfortable by getting into bed with him and cuddling with him. If there was people in the room, I just have problems of my own. I have trauma. This is not the first time this has happened to me. It's just naive, I guess.
I was just naive, I guess. I have trauma. Whenever a woman gets accused of something or she does something wrong and her response is, I have trauma, my response is, shut the fuck up. No one cares. That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with this situation. Oh, you have trauma? Good. Control yourself. You're an adult. The fuck out of here. Letting trauma lead you around. You're a grown-up. You have free will. You don't just get to turn yourself into a baby whenever you feel like you want to be a victim. You're not a toddler. Walk out the room, shorty.
My friend was there. So was the assistant. I thought I was going to be fine. He starts touching me.
But I don't get it. What do you hope to accomplish from this? If it's that big a deal, you thought you were going to be fine, but what are you doing there then? What are you getting out of this? What are you waiting for? If it's so dangerous, if it's all this, I thought I was going to be fine. When you say you're going to be fine, that's like you're waiting for something to end. Like you're waiting for whatever it is to complete and then you can get out of there. But when there's nothing happening, you're just hanging out in this hotel room. Go home. Right. Bullshit.
Down there.
Bullshit.
Repeatedly, I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off.
Get out.
I keep bringing his hand back up to like my waist.
So you push his hand off, but you don't get the fuck up.
She's still in bed with him. She's still in bed with him.
Sounds like a little tease play going on here, rather than actually being uncomfortable. Right,
and then you move, and she did a Freudian slip with her fucking body. Just now she said, he put my hands down there, and then I kept moving his hand back up to my waist, but she put her hands up here. What you think that means? That means you didn't put him back there. You put him in another place. Mm-hmm. Which means you playing around and not saying no. Mm-hmm. That's not a no action. Mm-hmm. Because you're still in bed with him and he has no clothes on. The no action is getting out of bed. Like, I don't understand that. I know he didn't. Leaving. And leaving. And you got to remember that even while this is going on, the other 2 people are still in the room.
Right.
So that we can just like cuddle, because I'm comfortable with cuddling. I'm not comfortable with putting out with somebody that I don't know. I just met literally for the first time. He's huge, scary, doesn't speak any of my language.
But you want to cuddle with him? He's huge and scary. You see, you can't. She can't play the duality. She can't do it. Yeah. It's like it's both. I was so scared of him, blah, blah, blah.
But I'm okay with cuddling.
I'm in the bed with him. I'm not leaving. Like, those 2 things cannot happen and exist at the same time.
He screams predator, but I wanted to cuddle with him.
Right. What? They should put you in jail for shit like this, bro. Jail, my nigga. Jail. Oh, shit.
Delusional.
And I wasn't comfortable putting out with him, because that's just not what I do.
He's Brazilian.
You're an OnlyFans model.
You should know that. He's a translator. Ta-da! Merry Christmas. You didn't know that? Bro.
The bitch is an OnlyFans model. I don't put out for... You're an OnlyFans model, but you're a professional thought. Cut it out. Cut it out. You're not going to pretend like you're some fucking modest girl in this situation. You're a new age whore, and you are behaving like one, waiting for him like a groupie to get back at his hotel room. Yet all of a sudden, you want us to believe that you're virginal Mary Poppins? Shut up. Don't fake cry. Don't start.
He keeps touching me. I keep pushing him off. Eventually, me and my friend say that we're very tired and we would like to go to sleep. They turn all the lights off. My friend and the assistant get into bed. It's a queen-size bed that they get into. I'm in a queen-size bed right next to it with Alex. Me and my friend are on the inside of the bed looking at each other under the blankets. He keeps pulling the blanket over me, keeps trying to touch me. I feel suffocated. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. I've pushed him off so many times at this point, and he's not taking the hint. And these men are clearly not caring about my comfortability.
Nah, people like you, you're actually a nasty piece of shit, honestly. You're actually a nasty piece of shit, because you're lying. You're lying, and this is dog shit. You're not a baby. I didn't know what to do. I'm a victim. Really? Get up and leave. You're in the bed with this man. You and your friend. Stop it. We're not gonna do this. I'm sorry to break it to you, bitch. I've been alive for 34 years. You won't fool me with this dog shit. No way. Make it make sense. Huh?
She seems like she has free roam to come up and go, move her arms around, do all this kind of shit.
Be here, be there, but she refused to leave the bed. Forget leaving the room. You didn't even get out of the bed. No way, bro. This is, man. Alex was being weird for sure, but being weird and being a criminal are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still in bed with a man you don't want to have sex with,
Get out of the bed.
My underwear and my pants down.
Get out of the bed.
what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, bro. What do you think about that? Like,
I'll wait until she finishes her story and I'll give mine.
man, it's just like, bruh. Go ahead. Why you stay though?
I was naive, I guess. I guess you could say I asked for it by getting into bed with him. I didn't know that this was gonna happen.
Chama.
I'm pushing him off of me. He won't get off. He eventually pulls my underwear and my pants down to around like halfway on my thighs, and I push him off again. He gets out of bed, he starts screaming and putting his socks and his clothes on. I'm terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out.
Bruh, the whole time, there's still other people in this room, bruh. There's still other people in this room. Leave.
And he starts telling his translator that he doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him and my friend, and that he wants them to leave.
So now, again, so there are still 4 people in this room. Now, you have another opportunity to go home. And instead of going home, like, clearly you're about to start bawling, apparently.
Right.
It's horrible. According to you, the attack has begun. It started already. Y'all hiding under covers trying to escape. He pulling off covers, you hiding. Mm-hmm. Right? So when he tells the translator and the other girl to get out, why did you not get up and leave?
Mm-hmm.
You tied down, they chain you, they break your leg. What are you talking about?
His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. He immediately starts trying to take my clothes off.
I'm done. You're bugging out. So your friend managed to get out into the hallway. And what did you do? You didn't leave with them? You stayed. So as they were closing the door, you just, what, stood there?
I don't believe her, especially in this instance,
Whoa.
because this is the beginning of the transition. If this was really true, and if this was to happen, this is the beginning of the most fearful setting part that she realizes is happening. And the way that she's explaining it, she's looking around, darting her eyes. She's more like sighing. She doesn't actually have a real conviction of fear that something was in trauma that was taken from her, ripped from her by her will by force. So this doesn't prove to me that she's telling the truth. She seems like she's lying because she's too nonchalant about it. It's not like she's really traumatically hurt, and I don't like it. She's fucking lying.
And on top of that, it's like she looked like she's preparing a fake cry.
Yes.
Like that's what she's looking like. Because
he began to and that's when he was with the sighing.
And it's like, I'm telling you, every time you hear one of these stories, they remove all personal choice from the situation. It's like you had no choice in this situation. Like you could have left at any time. When your friend got up, got her shit, and was walking out, when y'all looked at each other, she didn't say, "Come with me."
Right. Or you didn't pick up your shit and just run out
and say, "I'm going with you." But that's what
I'm not staying.
You just you stayed there. This is sick.
Off. He starts trying to take my socks off. I try to tell him no, because I have blisters on my feet from walking around New York in heels for like 10 hours the night before.
So you're lying again, because that's not something you say to someone who you don't want to touch you, who's trying to mess you up. Because you would say, don't stop touching me. Don't take my clothes off at all. Not, don't take them off because I don't want you to see the blisters on the back of my feet. That's a little bit different. That's
and still irrelevant to the story.
Right. But like that lets me know that that thing you said, you probably did say that. And the difference is that, but that doesn't indicate that, bitch, stop.
And I had band-aids on my blisters, and they were going to get ripped off with my socks. I tried to explain to him, don't take my socks off, please. He didn't understand that. So at that point, I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm in a room with a huge man that doesn't speak English. He's not understanding what I'm saying. He doesn't give a fuck because I've pushed him off so many times, and he doesn't care. And he like got up and screamed and scared me into staying in the room with him.
Nope.
No way.
I don't believe it.
No way. He screamed and scared me into staying in the room with him. Meanwhile, 2 other people were able to walk right out of the room, including your friend. Like, I don't understand. There's safety in numbers. There's no way. Even if you want to argue while he's in the room, now he scares you and you stay there. Before that, you had every chance to get out of there. So I don't understand. And by the way, you're telling your own story. You're fucking your own story up. Because if you make the story more believable, you would have started it from when y'all were both in the room together. He shouted and scared me, and I couldn't leave or whatever. Like he was by the door.
I was frightened.
That might make a little bit more sense. But for you to say that you were doing all this shit, for following this nigga around for all these hours like a groupie, and then fucking staying in the room, he took his clothes, all these opportunities to leave, and you didn't leave, and it's only and the things that you say were making you uncomfortable that were bad didn't start when you were alone in the room with him. They started well before, when there were 4 people in the room, when he took off his clothes and ordered food. So after all that time has passed, you stayed in the room and went with everything. Now all of a sudden, he's doing something to you. I don't believe you, not at all.
And making his assistant and my friend leave the room. At this point, I know what's happening.
He acts like he has a gun.
I've been through this before. I know that it's just easiest if I just shut my mouth, do what I have to, put on whatever performance that I have to make it end.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Every
brother.
victim that I've ever heard in life, period, that's been no.
Perform?
They will fight.
Perform.
They will fight.
Perform? No. You see, I'm telling you, this is the shit they do. She's trying to remove accountability from her by saying, no, he scared me in my head, and so I had no choice but to do this. It's like, no, you're a fucking adult, and you had choices. It's like, this is what motherfuckers want choices. Don't tell me what to do with my body. You want that choice, but not any other choices? Like, what? I don't get it.
And I don't know, what is it? You had your fight or flight response ripped out of your soul or something? Like, were you in shock? But it doesn't sound like you were in shock. It doesn't sound like you were in shock at all.
Blasted liar, bro.
You went with everything.
This shit is crazy, bro.
Did she go to the police at all, guys? Or
And that's,
she's like,
that's another
TikTok?
thing.
Nope.
Just TikTok, from what I understand.
From what I yep, just on TikTok.
Never
talking
went
shit.
to the went to the cops
Yeah.
to explain your story, but went to TikTok.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he puts me on top of him so that we're 69ing. I think that it's just gonna be like,
What did this bitch say? The fuck did this bitch say?
He said he put me on top of him so that we're 69. I don't know if y'all are like have engaged in such activities, but see, when I put my Tetris blocks together, right? The shit, the way you see the way it's set up, right? Man on bottom, woman on top. How could he hold you in that position? Like, you could get up. You know that, right? You could get up. It isn't. He's not doing fighting in UFC and fighting on the ground, holding you to his body like that, because then you wouldn't be able to complete the 69.
And
so, go ahead.
And understand something. When somebody who is committing a grape, they want to show dominance, and dominance means that they're gonna be on top always.
Putting you in a 69
is not.
You on top? No gun, no knife.
Bitch.
No gun, no knife.
Lord have mercy.
You on top?
Lord have mercy.
Every part of the story is a lie.
Fabricated.
Normal, like he just pressured me into having sex, and he scared me into having sex with him. It's whatever, like, it's nothing that hasn't happened to me before. Like, I'll just, keep it inside like I usually do and just live with it.
Yeah, bitch, you better live with it, because if you go to the police and fucking lie, he gonna sue you into oblivion.
She's not. She's just on TikTok.
Bitch, you go to the police and tell this story, they're gonna laugh you out of the precinct. What are you talking about?
She's just going to TikTok.
Just for clout, but he should find her little OnlyFans money and take it away. Sue her.
He starts using multiple of his fingers, forcefully pushing them into my ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not. Everybody's asking for an explanation, so here it is. This is literally just the truth. It's disgusting and embarrassing, and I've tried to make this video so many times, and I keep crying, and I just feel disgusting and humiliated and violated, and I know people are going to laugh at me, and people are going to say that I deserved it and think that it's funny.
You're a liar.
What I'm about to say.
You didn't deserve it because it didn't happen.
It's whatever, like, I just thought that, like, this would help me heal by talking about it.
Enough of this. You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. And you came on the internet to lie to everyone, to lie to the believe all women crowd, hoping that you would get support. Mm-hmm. You're disgusting. Get the fuck out of here.
Because if you wanted help, you would have sought out the people who actually could help you in this situation.
The fucking laws.
Right.
Like,
Especially when if somebody did something wrong to you, you want justice on them. So not only that you can feel better, but the next person would never have to go through that again. But you're sitting here saying it to the public on TikTok, on social media, rather than dealing with the police.
Right. People love going on because, well, you can tell how old she is. All these goofies raised in this generation, you think going on the internet will solve all your problems. What this is going to do is get you sued for defamation. Because you're bullshit.
And that's what he should do.
And I guarantee you that the translator's a witness.
And so is your friend.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, people tell stories like this on the internet all the time because no one is able to properly question them point by point as to the legitimacy of what they're talking about. So when a lawyer gets to your story and they go point by point, and at every turn they ask you, why didn't you leave? He hadn't shouted yet. Why didn't you leave? Mm-hmm. Your friend was still there. She was able to get out. The shout didn't shut off her defense instincts and turn her into a fucking deer. So why did it happen to you?
Why did you lay in the bed every time you shoved his hand away and he still didn't get the message? Why didn't you just get up?
Right.
Remove your body from his...
Why did you get into the bed in the first place?
Right.
You're acting like you didn't want to be there, yet you waited hours for him to show up.
Mm-hmm. There was no moment of shock in that moment, so you can't even use I was in shock, I didn't know what to do. You can't say that because you have ample times for you to get up and get out. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't.
That shit is crazy, bro. Jesus Christ.